It's late in the evening. The house is quiet. You're sitting on the couch, maybe scrolling through your phone, maybe watching television, and your dog is lying peacefully on the floor nearby. Everything feels calm until suddenly your dog explodes into motion. They leap to their feet and begin sprinting around the house, from the living room to the hallway, sliding across the kitchen floor, racing back again in wild circles. Their paws skid, their ears flap, their eyes look wide with excitement. They might bounce off the couch, spin in tight circles, or dart past you like a furry lightning bolt. For a moment, the entire house becomes a racetrack. And then just as quickly as it began, it stops. Your dog flops down on the floor again, calm, peaceful, as if nothing happened. Most dog owners simply laugh at this moment. They call it the zoom eyes, a silly burst of energy, a random dog quirk. Maybe your dog just got excited. Maybe they just have too much energy. But behavioral science tells a very different story. What looks like chaos is actually one of the most fascinating psychological expressions in the dog world. Because when dogs suddenly sprint through the house like tiny hurricanes, they're not just being silly. They're communicating something far deeper about their mind, their emotions, and their bond with you. Animal behaviorists call this phenomenon FRAPs, frenetic random activity periods. And despite the name, these moments are not random at all. They are deeply connected to the way a dog's nervous system regulates emotion. Inside a dog's brain, powerful chemical signals are constantly balancing excitement, stress, curiosity, and social connection. When energy builds up, either physical or emotional, the body needs a way to release it. And sometimes that release comes in the form of explosive movement. Researchers studying canine behavior at universities such as the University of Bristol and the University of Lincoln have observed that zoom eyes often appear after moments of heightened stimulation. For example, after a bath, after a walk, after being reunited with their owner, or even after a moment of mild stress. These bursts of running help reset the dog's nervous system. Think of it as a kind of emotional shake-off. In humans, we release tension through laughter, stretching, exercise, or even pacing around the room. Dogs don't have those same outlets. Instead, they run, fast, wild, free. But the psychology behind zoom eyes goes even deeper than simple energy release. To understand it fully, we need to travel back thousands of years, long before dogs slept on couches or chased tennis balls in suburban backyards. They were wild hunters. Early ancestors of modern dogs lived in social packs that depended on bursts of intense physical activity. Hunting required sudden explosions of speed, chasing prey, dodging obstacles, communicating through movement rather than words. These intense sprints were not just physical actions. They were deeply embedded survival behaviors. And even though modern dogs live comfortable lives with humans, their nervous systems still carry echoes of that ancient past. Inside every domestic dog is a brain designed for rapid shifts between calm and action. One moment resting, the next moment sprinting. That sudden shift is not chaos. It's biology. But there's another powerful factor involved: attachment. Over the last 15,000 to 30,000 years, dogs evolved alongside humans in a unique relationship unlike any other species. Dogs didn't just adapt to living near humans. They adapted to bonding with us emotionally. In fact, studies from researchers at Kyoto University discovered something extraordinary. When dogs make eye contact with their owners, both the human and the dog experience a surge in the hormone oxytocin. Oxytocin is often called the bonding hormone. It's the same chemical released between parents and children, between close friends, between people who deeply trust each other. For dogs, this hormone reinforces the feeling that their human is part of their social pack. And when dogs feel emotionally secure, they play. They express joy through movement. And sometimes that joy erupts into zoom eyes. In other words, those chaotic laps around your living room may actually be a sign of emotional safety. Your dog feels safe enough to release energy without restraint, safe enough to be playful, safe enough to be vulnerable. But zoom eyes aren't always just about happiness. Sometimes they appear after situations that create mild stress. For example, Many dogs sprint wildly after bath time. To us, bath time seems harmless. But for dogs, the experience can feel strange. Wet fur, unfamiliar smells, loss of their natural scent. The nervous system becomes slightly overstimulated. So when the bath ends, the dog runs, not out of fear, but as a neurological reset. Movement helps discharge leftover tension. This pattern appears across many species. Even wild animals shake their bodies after stressful encounters. It's the nervous system's way of returning to balance. Dogs simply express it in the most dramatic way possible, through joyful chaos. And there's something else happening during these moments that many owners overlook: communication. Dogs use movement to express emotions that humans typically express through language. A sudden sprint around the house can mean, I feel excited. I feel relieved. I feel playful. I feel connected. It's the canine version of laughter. But there is an even deeper insight hidden inside these moments. Zoom eyes often happen when dogs feel fully present. Dogs do not dwell on the past. They do not worry about tomorrow. Their emotional experience is anchored in the immediate moment. And when that moment feels stimulating enough, their body simply responds. Run, leap, spin, release. This ability to discharge emotion quickly is one reason dogs recover from stress much faster than humans. Where humans might carry tension for hours or days, dogs release it in seconds. A sprint across the living room, a quick shake, then calm again. Their nervous system resets. And this teaches us something quietly profound about the dog mind. Dogs are masters of emotional regulation through movement. But there is one important detail every dog owner should pay attention to. Changes. Zoom eyes are normal, healthy, even joyful. But if a dog suddenly begins having extreme bursts of frantic movement combined with other signs, such as excessive panting, pacing, or destructive behavior, it may indicate something deeper. A sudden increase in zoom eyes can sometimes mean pent-up physical energy, lack of mental stimulation, stress from environmental changes, or disrupted routines. Dogs thrive on predictable rhythms, regular walks, consistent play, emotional connection. When those needs aren't fully met, the body sometimes tries to compensate through bursts of activity. In those cases, zoom eyes become less about joy and more about release. This is why many animal behaviors encourage structured play and mental enrichment for dogs. Puzzle toys, training sessions, exploration walks. These activities help regulate a dog's emotional energy in healthy ways. But in most homes, zoom eyes are simply what they appear to be. Moments of pure life bursting through the body. A dog celebrating existence. And perhaps there is something beautiful about that. Because in a world where humans often suppress emotion, dogs remind us how natural expression should look. When they feel excitement, they run. When they feel joy, they bounce. When they feel relief, they shake it off. No hesitation. No embarrassment. Just honesty. And maybe that's why watching a dog race wildly around the house makes us smile. Because in those chaotic circles, we're witnessing something deeply authentic. A creature completely connected to the moment, completely alive, and completely bonded to the people they trust. So the next time your dog suddenly launches into a wild sprint through the hallway, instead of wondering why they're acting crazy, pause for a moment. Look closer, because those zoom eyes might be your dog's way of saying something simple. I feel good here. I feel safe. I feel alive. And in a quiet way, they might even be inviting you to share that feeling too. If you've ever watched your dog suddenly sprint through the house like a tiny rocket, let us know in the comments. When do your dog's zoom eyes usually happen? And if you enjoy exploring the hidden psychology behind dog behavior, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating minds of our canine companions. And don't forget to watch the next video, because some of the strangest things dogs do often have the most beautiful meanings behind them.